So, hello everybody who joined us. My name is Greta, and this is my colleague Andranik. We're both academic consultants from Students Affairs and Career Center. And today we will present you and tell about the admission process. A disclosure before our presentation. There will be an opportunity to ask questions later. We'd like to present you with information first. So you can use your hands and then ask a question, or you can type in your questions to the Q&A chat here. So as I said, today we will talk about admissions and where to start. If you want to apply to Vilnius University, but before that, a little information about our community here. So Andranik, you can continue.
Okay, so well, first of all, as the headline here states, Vilnius University is among the top 400 in the world, and this is something that we strive to improve every year. Truly, we invest a lot as like a university community to provide to our students the best possible quality of studies and the best possible opportunities for them to reach for great results in their both professional and scientific lives. So in that end, we here have 15 faculties that cover a very wide range of programs, study programs, both in bachelor's and master's studies and doctoral studies as well. We have faculties both in Vilnius and in Kaunas and Šiauliai, although mostly all of our faculties are in Vilnius. And yeah, they're scattered all across the city, including both the old town as well as these new student towns that we call. Yeah, basically that's about the university, and we can move on.
Yes, well, application and applying to Vilnius University is a process. It consists of 3 steps, I would say: pre-admission, admission, and hopefully acceptance. Therefore, it requires time management, planning, and essentially knowing or trying to understand what you want and what kind of subjects do you want to study. You need to take certain actions before the admission process even starts. And yeah, I think we can move on to the other slide.
Yep, and just shortly on application deadlines, since they are quite important. So for European Union or European Economic Area citizens, the deadline is June 1st, while, July 1st, and non-EU citizens, that's going to be June 1st. And specifically this year, we do recommend, really not waiting and trying to apply earlier if possible, especially if you find yourself in this non-European Union or European Economic Area. Since, yeah, we're hearing that there's quite a lot of complications with visas this year, and generally, usually people who, get ahead, they usually do better. So we recommend you to follow these deadlines, and if possible, start early so that you can have a more successful and smooth application process.
Yes, well, as I said, application is a process, and the first step, as we called it, is pre-admission, which is essentially finding your program, a program that you like and that you want to study. Well, it's an ideal case. We would like you to all study in a program that you want and that you dreamed of. And how to choose your program? It essentially depends on your personal interests, your qualification, and your financial abilities as well. So those are 3 parts that you have to consider in order to successfully choose your program. Well, for example, if you like literature and you're good with languages, you can apply for English philology or linguistics, for example. If you are more of a science guy or a girl, then you can apply for example, for a software engineering. Well, the first step which you can take is just look through the list of available programs, which is available on the application platform that we showed you before at apply.vu.lt. And look through the programs and which look interesting to you. Just apply for those in an ideal case. If you have some difficulties and you do not know where do you want to apply, or you do not know where to start and how to look for a program, you can always register for academic counseling. Vilnius University also provides an opportunity to have a career counselor. So you can register for a career consultation as well. And also, this year, Vilnius University provides a new opportunity for the first-year students, which will start their studies in September. This is an opportunity to individualize your studies. For example, if you, well, I will just give an example from a perspective, for example, from a person who would like to study journalism, and I want to become a scientific journalist. Therefore, I am applying for a journalism study program, but I want to have some subjects that are connected to science. Therefore, I can take those subjects and switch them with my study program. Well, as I said, this is a new opportunity, and it's new to us academic consultants as well. But essentially, you will have to choose not during your first semester, but later. And yeah, we can move on.
All right. Once you know your dream program, next would be to get really acquainted with the admission requirements. And we separated it into 3 levels of requirements. There's general admission requirements, program requirements, and country-specific requirements. Before applying to our application system, Dream Apply, it'd be very good if you could navigate yourself to our website and really study in depth. First, the general admission requirements. What sort of documents every applicant needs to have with them, what sort of preparation is needed, what sort of qualifications are needed in general to apply to our university. And we can talk more about it a bit later in this presentation. But then there's program requirements. So if you're applying to physics, for example, or let's say information security and information systems and cybersecurity. Sorry, that's a very popular program. You're gonna be required to have math subjects, for example, that you passed in high school. So you need to check this in in the description of each program. What are the specific requirements for the program, and be sure that you can meet those requirements. And then there's country-specific requirements as well. Since every country is kind of different, and the diplomatic situation with each country is specific and different. There's different requirements for each country, and especially when it comes to your graduation documents, since every country has their own education system and final exams and all of that. So Yeah, we do have generally requirements for a large number of countries. If you find yourself coming from a country that we don't have any specific country requirements for, then you should contact us via email, which you'll see later in the contact section. And yeah, we will solve your situation individually. But for most applicants, usually, we already have preset requirements. So yeah, that's the first step of admission.
Yes, well, another part for admission that we get a lot of questions about, well, it's regarding the financial aid and the financial opportunities and funding for the studies. There are essentially three parts that we split this information. It's information about the application fee, about the tuition fees, and possible waivers and scholarships. Well, application fee is a compulsory fee. It's a part of the general admissions requirements. Therefore, you have to pay it once you submit all of your documents to the GMApply platform, and this fee is non-refundable. Well, tuition fees, they depend on the program. Some programs are more expensive, for example, medicine or dentistry. Some programs are cheaper. Therefore, you can check the price of your program using the application platform as well. You just can press on the name of the program and you will find all the information about it. Well, the tuition fee, it essentially cannot be waived off. International students are eligible for essentially a tuition fee waiver if they apply for a master's degree studies. But there are other possibilities to get, for example, a scholarship or a tuition fee postponement later during the studies. You can find this information on Vilnius University website as well. You can, on the section about scholarships, and you can find which scholarships are available for you during the application process and which scholarships are available during the study period at Vilnius University.
And yeah, some important things to take note of. As I said, there's general admission requirements that are just true for everyone who's applying to our university, regardless of which program. So first, it's very important that all of the documents that you provide for evaluation are either in English or they're officially translated into English with a notary stamp. There can be exceptions for Ukrainian applicants, since we do have an employee here working that can read Ukrainian documents, but generally the rule is it has to be in English or translated into English. Then the second one is the motivational interview. Yeah, basically, as part of your application, you will be invited for a motivational interview, or you might have a motivational letter as a mandatory part of your application. But either way, this is something that you will be communicated to during your application already, and you will see what it is that you exactly need to do. And language certification. So all applicants have to have a B2 level of English or Russian knowledge or higher. It depends on just what kind of program you're applying to. Some of our programs are in Russian language, and so that's why it's important to have then Russian language B2 or higher. But that's really a few programs. Only most of our programs are in English for international students. So yeah, and for this certification, generally it's best if you can have a certificate from like an internationally recognized testing facility. I mean, like YELTS or TOEFL or like exams like that are best. If your previous studies were conducted in English language, then actually that's also acceptable. And all you would need to do is just provide proof that your previous in your previous studies, the medium of communication was English. Yeah, so that's generally about these few important points to really take note of and keep an eye on. And actually, that's basically it for our part. And we'd really like to hear what's on your mind and your questions. So we're here to answer all of them. And yeah, please don't be shy.
Take it as an opportunity to have a consultation. Yes, just a second. Yes, I saw a hand. You can ask your question now. Just unmute yourself.
Yeah, excuse
Sorry.
for the university. I've already given some of the documents,
Mhm.
but I haven't received my original A-level certificate yet because right now I am in London in EU, and I will be going back by March 21st. So I want to know how I should give the certificate to you guys. Is it by scan copy or by post? Um, from I have done Cambridge A-levels, Cambridge A-level examinations. So I want to know how I should provide the certificate.
Well, as you said, you can scan your certificate and submit the scanned copy to the application platform. You would have to do that either way. And later, you could send the copies of your certificate to the Vilnius University admissions office, or I think you could bring those documents in September to Vilnius University, the true copies.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes?
And I see there's some questions in the chat, or are there more hands? Because I don't see actually any hands being raised, but if there's not, then we can answer maybe some questions from the chat. One is, so hi, I would like to know what is the minimum percentage that requires for a student to get us the scholarship for bachelor's and also master's. If you mean, what do you mean by percentage? Like score? 85 or above in their previous grades. We don't really, depends on the program, depends on your country. So like you should really then study the country specific requirements. If there are some kind of requirements for minimum scores, then you will find them there. Yeah, but generally for our programs, yeah, like each applicant is evaluated individually, and then yeah. So yeah, we recommend just studying our website, right? Country-specific requirements, program-specific requirements, and seeing for yourself whether your program or requires a certain minimum points or a certain minimum level from certain subjects, and then also from your country-specific requirements if there's a requirement for you to have a certain score from your national examination or some kind of evaluations that you had in the past. Yeah.
Yes, there is a hand raised, yes?
Hello.
Hello.
So ma'am, I would like to know that after completion of MBBS, that is medicine program from Lithuania, what's the license scenario? Can I be given any license to work over there? Is there any exam for the license, or and after registration, can I have job over there?
Do you mean can you work if you become a student here at Vilnius University?
I mean that after completion of MBBS, that is the medicine program, means will I be given any license? Is there any license exam over there to practice there?
Yes, well, essentially, the study of medicine is a longer program. Once you finish it, you have a bachelor and a master's degree, and essentially you're qualified to become a doctor, to be a doctor. However, this information regarding additional licensing and working opportunities and residency, you should contact, for this information, you should contact the Faculty of Medicine, because they're the ones that conduct these residencies and working opportunity, and they work with hospitals directly.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there's also then another question in the chat. I would like to know how to apply for dormitory accommodation provided by the university. That's pretty simple. You apply for accommodation once you are actually accepted into the university. So once you do receive your acceptance letter, there's in that same Dream Apply system, there's a choice for you, yes or no, whether you need accommodation or not, and you just click yes and submit it, and then you'll be additionally contacted for that. So yeah.
There is a raised hand. You can ask your question.
Hi, I'm actually the parent of the previous student who asked the question. There are some, one of my relative students and who is willing to apply for Vilnius. The issue is now since the deadline, he can forward some of the admission documents except the IELTS certificate, because he has studied in a single medium. So his IELTS is on June. He booked IELTS is on June. So is there any possibility that he can first apply with the other admission documents, and is there any other deadline for submitting the conditions?
Well, essentially you have to submit all of your application documents before the admissions deadline in order to apply and get accepted to Vilnius University. What I would suggest in your case, writing a letter to the admissions office and explaining your situation. You can see the contacts here, and explaining your situation that, well, essentially you will get a certificate later, and what can you do, because your son, I think you said that you had a son who applied. He will also have to attend a motivational interview. So during this interview, they will also assess his English language skills. But yeah, I would suggest contacting the admissions office.
All right. So the for the non-European deadline is June 1st, right?
Yes.
June 1st.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any questions? I can see a question in the chat. Okay. Hi, I would like to know, when we arrive in Lithuania, would there be someone from the university to pick us up? Well, unfortunately, no. Your arrival matter should be dealt with well, you should deal with them by yourself, unfortunately. There are different ways that you can get from the airport, for example. There, well, public transportation is available, and you can also use taxis and other driver services.
What's the cost of accommodation? It ranges, it depends basically on which room you take, because there's usually 2-bed or 3-bed rooms. And based on that, the price fluctuates. It's between around, I don't remember the exact numbers right now, but it's between 50 to 120 euros, depending on, no, it's actually going to be a bit less than this year, because we won't allow, right? Like we will try to fill up all the spaces, like of double bed or triple bedrooms. So if you're in a triple bedroom, it'll be cheaper. You'll have to share your room with more people, but it'll be around this 50 euro per month mark, whereas a double bedroom where it'll be around 60 to 70 euros. But you can check this in our website as well, and there's this section for accommodation. So
yeah, they can see the prices there. Are there any other? Oh, I can see a raised hand. Just a moment. Yes, you can ask a question. Just unmute yourself. We cannot hear you yet. No, I can see that you unmuted yourself, but we still cannot hear you. Maybe you can try typing your question to the chat then.
meanwhile, while we wait, there's another question in the chat already. How many hours are students allowed to work? There's not really any laws or some kind of rules connected to this. Students can work full-time jobs if they want to. Whether that's recommended, that's a different question. Personally, our opinion is that if you want to really study and like have a good quality experience during your studies, then probably you shouldn't start working right ahead, at least in the first year. But of course, if it's a necessity, it's manageable, it's possible, and there's plenty of students that are working. You should just check as well, you know, as a student, you can't really work, as I remember, with a national visa. You have to have a residence permit or temporary residence permit to work. So that's also something to settle. But once that's done, yeah, you can work. Whether that's advisable, I mean, it's up to you, basically, if you can really manage being a full-time student and a full-time employee or something like that as well.
I can see a question about a senior student from Turkey. I couldn't see a specific requirement for a bachelor's degree. What study program is he interested in? Because in order to apply for any master's program, you have to provide an undergraduate diploma. This is a part of general admissions requirements, and also it is required by the program as well. Well, it depends on the field of the study that he finished his bachelor in, but he would have to submit his undergraduate diploma either way.
And there's another question about facilities provided by the university, such as extracurriculum. I'm not sure what you mean exactly by this, but I mean, if you're talking about extra activities that students can do outside of their study program, then mainly I would say that's in the plenty of student organizations that can be found that are active in Vilnius University. Or yeah, of course, sports. Yes, we do have a whole sports and health center, which provides students the opportunity to try themselves out in a wide variety of sports. We do have sports facilities here as well in multiple areas across Vilnius, for example. So there are such opportunities. So sports, culture, yeah, music troops to join, drama theater, a wide variety of student clubs and organizations.
Yeah, I would just like to add that you will have an opportunity to look into different parts of Vilnius University, such as extracurricular activities during the orientation week as well, if you get accepted. Are there any other questions and other raised hands? Well, we still have an opportunity to ask us a few questions if you would like, but our time is coming to an end. We have 10 minutes, I believe. So don't be shy.
Yes, there's a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'd like to know what list of documents is required for admission for Ukrainians. Is the list the same as for other foreign applicants, and are there any nuances? Yes, well, the Ukrainian question is a constantly developing question, that's for sure. As it stands right now, as a Ukrainian applicant, you should follow the all the like general admission requirements, country-specific, program-specific requirements, as we've talked about already. There's a few ways that the process is a bit easier for Ukrainian applicants specifically. So there's no application fee first. And in regards to English language certification, we also are a bit more open there in this area. And we look at applicants, I mean, we allow applicants to prove their English language knowledge in a variety of ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be IELTS or other type of exam results, although preferably it should be, but yes. So I hope that answers the question. Once again, no, we're not arranging airport pickups. Sorry, but that's something that you need to arrange by yourself. But honestly, Vilnius city, if you're coming here, is not really a big city, and it's not very hard to navigate. And the other cities, such as Kaunas or Šiauliai, are even smaller, and public transportation generally is decent, and it's possible really to get around.
Are there any other questions? You can raise your hand or type it into the meeting chat area.
So I think either way, everyone attending here, you can see, all of our contacts displayed on your screen. So be sure to contact us and ask any questions that still might arise in the future.
Yeah, as we mentioned during the presentation, you can also register for a consultation with our academic consultants. You can register for a consultation using the Vilnius University platform, and you can find essentially a button to press if you want to register. So yeah, thank you all for attending. Hopefully we answered and cleared some of your questions, and have a nice day then.
Yep. Take care. Good luck.
Bye.